Hey guys, Mike here. So today I'm here to talk to you about Midsommar. In this review I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film and whether or not you guys should go and see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler free, however if you don't know anything about the film and you want to go in completely blind, then let's just come back to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we?
I was most excited for you to come.
So Midsommar stars Florence Pugh as Dani. You may remember her most recently from her leading role in Fighting With My Family. In Midsommar, Dani is going through a bit of a family crisis at the minute, and she's kind of in a relationship where she thinks it's going well, but her partner is kind of a bit unsure and he kind of wants to break things off. However, as this unhealthy relationship continues, her boyfriend Christian tells her that he wants to go on this trip to Sweden to go to this Midsummer festival. At first, she's not quite sure whether she wants to go, but after convincing herself, she decides to go with her boyfriend and all his friends to the festival. So when they first get to the festival, they're all taken aback by how beautiful it is and how friendly everyone is. Though, they kind of feel that there's this odd aura around the place, like something's probably not right. However, as they all get more and more invested in the place, they find that their suspicions are only more and more justified. And so we have Midsommar. Now, I have to admit, the main reason that I went to go see this movie was because it was written and directed by Ari Aster, who wrote and directed Hereditary. Now, this wasn't because I thought that this movie was going to be great, far from it, because Hereditary for me last year was one of the worst movies that came out of last year. So originally, I went to go see this to see if it was any worse than Hereditary. Though I did keep an open mind, I went in trying to think, you know what, I'm going to try and enjoy this one. And though I do think that this movie follows a lot of the same structural beats as Hereditary, I found that I enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought I would. Now, this might have been the case because with Hereditary, I was expecting a really good movie because they advertised it, better than The Exorcist. So I went in with that, and then when it finished, I was really disappointed. So with this one, I went in with really low expectations and I didn't know what I was going to get out of it because I tried to avoid the trailers as much as possible, like I do with most other movies. And I have to say that, I quite enjoyed this movie. I thought that Florence Pugh was really good in this, like she was in Fighting With My Family. Her character was quite interesting and she showed a lot of range in this movie. The sets and scenery all looked really beautiful. And there were also a lot of smart, smooth editorial decisions as well. And I do think it was interesting how the story was kind of leading you one way to think that, oh, maybe these people aren't so bad. Maybe we're probably the weird ones for looking at them with such disgust or disdain or whatever. But unfortunately, it does go very much the way that you think it's going to go. If you've seen Hereditary, then you know exactly how this movie's going to go. And honestly, I was kind of expecting to be a bit more disturbed with this one, because while this movie doesn't shy away from being disturbing or having graphic imagery, I just kind of expected a bit more from it. I just really wanted probably one scene that would really stay with you. Not to say there aren't many scenes in this that are not shocking or anything like that. It's just, I wanted just that one that when you walk out of the theatre, you're just like, jeez, what the hell did I just watch? Though, the movie as a whole is pretty much like that, though. Because it was quite funny, I went with a friend who hadn't seen Hereditary, and I imagine he hasn't seen any of other Ari Aster's stuff either. So, for the whole time, he's just sitting there like, pretty much how I was when I was watching Hereditary, though with myself, though, it was more anger and frustration with what I had just watched. Though I'd say that the biggest problem with movies like this is that if you don't like them, then you kind of get this thing off people who do like it where they just say, oh, you're not smart enough to understand it, or, oh, you didn't understand this symmetry or this imagery or whatever. And that, for me, is where I kind of start to fall out with movies like this because there's a lot of pretentiousness that comes with them. And I would say, like Hereditary, this is a very pretentious movie. Not to completely say that this is a terrible movie or that there is no merit whatsoever to this movie. It's just pretty much what it is. It's just a really pretentious movie. And this movie definitely is a slow burner. It definitely feels as long as it is, because this movie clocks in about 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. But to be honest, I found that I wasn't really actually bored with this movie. I was just more intrigued to see what was going to happen next, or what some of the characters were going to do next, or what crazy, outrageous thing we were going to see next. And that's kind of an odd thing, because I don't get why I didn't hate this one as much as Hereditary. Maybe it's probably because I went in, like I said, with the pretext that I wasn't going to enjoy it, and then when I found that it wasn't complete and utter garbage, that's probably why I liked it a fair bit. Or maybe Midsommar's just generally a better movie, which I do think that this movie is much, much, much better than Hereditary. But saying that, does it make me want to give Hereditary a second chance, or even watch this movie again a second time? No, absolutely not. I would never give Hereditary another chance. I wouldn't want to put myself through that agony again. even if it was to try and prove myself wrong. I just can't think of watching Hereditary again. And really, I couldn't watch Midsommar again a second time. There's not really all that much to hold my attention for a second viewing, because once you know what's going to happen or what's really going on, it kind of loses a lot of rewatchability. Overall, guys, it's a really well acted, well made movie that was definitely a fair bit more decent than I thought it was going to be. But now, as for whether or not, you guys should go and see it. Now, I myself personally wouldn't recommend to go see this movie because a lot of the people I probably associate with would not like this movie. However, if you loved Hereditary, then I think you'll really like this movie too. But I'd say if you're willing to give it a chance like I did, I'd say go see it anyway. And if you want to make the investment as well of seeing this on the big screen, there is definitely a lot of pretty imagery that would be enhanced by being on a big screen. But if you're not really that bothered, I'd say wait till it comes out on Netflix or something like that. Okay guys, that's my review of Midsommar. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what's your favourite artsy movie? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!